Seed oils, canola, soybean, sunflower, corn. Half my feed says they're quietly poisoning all of us and I should throw every bottle in the trash. The other half says that's nonsense. So which is it? Are seed oils actually toxic?
Here's the trick nobody tells you. Are seed oils toxic? Sounds like one question. It's actually 5 questions wearing a trench coat, and each one has a different answer. Stack them together and you get panic. Pull them apart and it gets clear. So here's the deal. 5 claims, and for each one, exactly how strong the evidence is, from solid to weak to none.
All right, pull them apart. But first, what even is a seed oil?
Simple, it's oil pressed and refined from seeds. Canola, soybean, sunflower, corn, grapeseed. What makes people nervous is that they're rich in one fat, linoleic acid, and omega-6. And here's the distinction that'll carry this whole video. There's the molecule linoleic acid in a normal diet. And there's the practice, the same oil deep-fried 10 times in a fast food fryer, buried inside ultra-processed food. Those are not the same thing, and most of the fear mixes them up.
Okay, biggest fear first. Do they give you heart disease? Do they kill you?
You'd expect the evidence to say yes. It says the opposite. 4 independent approaches, a meta-analysis of 44 groups and nearly 900,000 people, the largest blood biomarker pooling, the newest big cohort, and a separate national dataset all point the same way. People eating more linoleic acid have consistently lower death rates, not higher. In the biggest one, the highest intake group had about 13% lower all-cause mortality. Now let me be honest about what that does and doesn't prove. These are observational studies. They watch what people eat, they don't run the experiment. People eating more seed oil may just live healthier overall. That's called healthy user bias, and you can't fully remove it. So the link is strong and repeated, but causation is only moderate. What we can say cleanly is this: there is no evidence that modest intake raises your risk.
But the inflammation thing. Everyone says omega-6 is inflammatory.
It's the #1 talking point, and in humans it mostly falls apart. When researchers actually measure inflammation markers in people eating more omega-6, they don't go up. One trial even found a seed oil-rich diet lowered liver fat with no rise in inflammation. Even the cell-level mechanism turns out to cut both ways, not one direction. So there is no solid human evidence that normal omega-6 intake inflames you.
What about the ratio? The 20-to-1 omega-6 to omega-3 thing.
Good one, because the data plays a trick here. In a study of 85,000 people, a high ratio did track with higher mortality. Sounds damning. But when they separated the two fats, omega-6 on its own linked to lower mortality, and so did omega-3. The real problem in a bad ratio is too little omega-3, not too much omega-6. So blaming the ratio and then blaming seed oils for it doesn't hold up.
Okay, but hold on. There were real experiments, the old trials. Didn't they actually prove harm?
This is the best part, so stay with me. There's a famous one, the Minnesota coronary experiment. 9,400 people. The headline: swapping in seed oil raised deaths by 22%. Huge study, scary number. Except, watch what that big number is actually made of.
9,000 people, though. That's a serious study.
That's exactly the trap. Big N feels like strong proof. But that 22% came from a small slice, after about 75% of the data went missing in the leftover over 65s as a correlation, not the randomized result. The trial's own proper analysis showed no significant effect. 2 independent teams rechecked it and agreed. And the other old trial, Sydney, did find real randomized harm, but it used isolated omega-6 with no omega-3, at a dose no one eats, with likely trans fat margarine. A real signal in a world that doesn't exist. So the old trials proving seed oils kill you, that doesn't hold up. A giant sample can't rescue a broken design.
Okay, that flips everything. But frying, heating oil makes toxins, right?
Here the critics have a point, and here's where molecule versus practice pays off. Heat a polyunsaturated oil over and over, and its chemistry genuinely produces toxic aldehydes. Sunflower and corn make more than olive or peanut. That part suggests a real effect. But this is the bottom rung of the evidence ladder. It's test tube chemistry. Nobody has shown that the aldehydes from your kitchen actually cause disease in people. So, repeatedly refried oil, a plausible concern. A splash of canola in a pan, there is no evidence of harm.
So should I just switch to butter to be safe?
Probably not if the goal is living longer. Two large modern cohorts tested exactly that swap, replacing butter with plant oil tracked with lower mortality. In one, swapping just 10 grams a day of butter for plant oil linked to about 17% lower death rates. It's still observational, so it suggests, it doesn't prove. But if anything, the evidence leans toward the seed oil, not the butter.
Then why does everyone feel like seed oils are the problem?
Because there's a real observation hiding under a bad argument. The bad argument is it's industrial, therefore it's poison. That's just a naturalistic fallacy and there is no evidence for it. But the real observation, most seed oil reaches us inside ultra-processed food, chips, fried takeout, packaged snacks. So the seed oil might be a marker for a junky diet, not the cause of the harm. And that part is a fair, open question. The science hasn't cleanly separated yet.
Okay, last thing, and be straight with me. Two sides screaming at each other. Who's actually funding this fight?
This is the twist I did not see coming. Your gut says old industry-funded science says it's safe. Brave new researchers say it's dangerous. It's the reverse. The clean core of the evidence, the big cohorts, the recovered old trials, is mostly publicly and charity-funded. Meanwhile, some of the loudest papers concluding seed oils are perfectly safe were funded, word for word, by the soybean, corn, and canola trade groups.
Wait, the industry funds the they are safe side.
Directly, one key author is a paid executive at a soy industry institute. Now, and this matters, industry funding does not automatically make a conclusion wrong. Their science can still be correct, and here it mostly lines up with the independent data anyway. But it does mean you can't treat those papers as neutral referees. The honest move is to lean on the independent evidence, which, luckily, is where the real weight already is.
All right, after all that, give me the honest verdict.
Are seed oils toxic was the wrong question. For normal, everyday amounts, there is no good evidence they harm you, and a fair amount pointing the other way. The real cautions are narrow. Don't cook in the same oil refried a dozen times, and remember that most seed oil rides in on ultra-processed food. The molecule in a normal diet is fine. The practice is where to be thoughtful. So what do you actually do? Don't panic throw your canola oil away. Cook with fresh oil and don't reuse the same oil endlessly. And if you want to improve your diet, aim at the ultra-processed food itself, not the bottle in your cupboard.
No hype, no panic, just the evidence. And full transparency, this one went through an independent research board that checked every source and who funded it. Next time, eggs and the cholesterol myth that refused to die. Subscribe so you don't miss it.